So when I started this channel, the original idea was to kind of think of unraveling ideas. There were two parts, and if you saw the welcome video, this is kind of going to explain what it is about. I've been talking about fragrances so far. I love fragrances, but I'm not a collector. I'm more of a consumer. I like wearing them, but I'm not going to buy bottles for the sake of buying bottles just to have the bottle. If I'm not going to wear it, I'm not going to buy it, which makes things difficult. But uh, the other part of the channel, the other part of this was really to just have a space for me to share with the community. I've been using a lot, I've been consuming a lot of ideas, especially um, fragrances. That's one place I wanted to be able to share because I wanted to give back something, some way to the community. I may not have a lot to share. I don't know it all. Yes, I have years and years of experience, decades of experience with fragrances, more than just basic. Um, my background, I studied psychology, I have degrees in psychology. I studied in several different topics that interested me. But up to now, I've just been consuming. So this kind of through my friends telling me that I should, as a means to give back what I know or what I've learned. I don't know everything. I'm definitely willing to learn. I keep an open mind, but apparently there are things that I do know, and there are things that I was recommended I should share. So this is really the space for me to share, to unravel myself and those ideas. Hopefully, give back to the community and share it with you, and give something back to you. Maybe you'll come away with something. Maybe you won't. Maybe it's just going to be entertaining. I don't know. But this is just more. This channel is more than just fragrance reviews and fragrance content. So if that this is not the video for that, although it's kind of related because it's probably a good idea that I start my unraveling ideas segment with a tie-in to fragrances, which is an important aspect. I'm going to talk about why fragrances are important, why we think about them so much. So if you're just looking for fragrance reviews, there will be more. They're going to come, but this is more of a dialogue. Just something for me to talk about. It's going to be unedited, and I'm just going to put it out there. So if you're still on board, welcome. We're going to go into other topics in future videos. Things like words and concepts, and like the word respect, passion don't mean what the common folk, what people tend to think that it means, but I'm going to unravel what that is. I'm going to get into spirituality. I'm going to get into relationships, things that I've known. I've spent years and years studying, but something that I would like to share, I guess, with the community, so we can learn together. I can kind of go back. I was an adjunct professor. I do currently, right now, in my professional field, I do uh, workshops and learning sessions and help people learn. So, this particular episode, I'm going to unravel the idea of fragrance, of why we smell the way we do. How did it even start? So, let's think about the purpose of why. Why even bother to have the ability to smell things? And you got to think about this from a survival point of view. Our ancestors had to scour for food in the wilderness many years. That's how they did. They didn't have prepared food like we did right now. So when they would find fruits and plants and meat in the wilderness, um, the thing about food out there is that it's not just for us. There are other organisms that need to eat, and one of those organisms is bacteria. Now, bacteria, when they eat, they release a very foul odor. Um, and the thing about bacteria is that when we eat it, we tend to get sick and potentially die too. So, uh, we developed this ability to smell bad, to smell things that are foul, because it was a defense mechanism for us. It stopped us from eating whatever it was that we were about to consume, which could eventually make us sick or kill us. On top of that, we also developed the ability to smell ripe food, to smell food that is that is going to be beneficial. When we smell things that are good, we get that dopamine hit, those good hormones. Like it makes us feel good. And scent ultimately comes down to, yes, there's a protective mechanism, but there's also a feel good. There's endorphin. There's the pleasure that comes from it. I think one note that is often uh, commonly universal across humanity, I think, is vanilla, and I gotta verify this, but vanilla is often seen as the most. I think it's the most appealing note in all fragrances. It has something to do with mother's milk. It gives off this idea of nurturing, of warmth, of health and nutrition. So vanilla makes us feel softer, nurtured. Counter to that, bacteria. When you kill bacteria, the methods that used to be used to kill bacteria before alcohol was came about, they use citruses, things that have an acidic nature. So that smell of clean, that citrus smell, we associate with clean because that means the bacteria are dead. That means they're not going to affect us. We know that feeling that when we smell citrus, it means clean. So we evolved this sense. This is how we came to remember scent in that way. Actually, the sense of scent, olfactory, is very close to the hippocampus. That's the part of the brain that stores memory. So we had to evolve that ability to know before we drink that sour milk. Oh, it smells really bad. So stop it, because we had to be able to remember that this is bad. Stay away. Other thing, we had to remember what good, what ripe, what fresh smelled like. We remember that smells like. Yes, eat it. It's good. So that is the origin of fragrance, of why we are so drawn to things that smell pleasant. Because things that smell pleasant make us feel a certain way. And fragrance really ultimately is about the experience, about creating a positive feel. Why I love fragrance. I've been involved in fragrances since I was 14 years old. But even before then, I've when I was 14 and I discovered the designer fragrance, I went to Macy's and I bought every fragrance there is out there, and I just started like studying them and so forth. But when you think of the sense of smell, it reminds you of things, of good feelings. I remember the smell of my uncle's leather-seated car with with the combination of Marlboro Red tobacco. There's a very distinctive smell about that. I remember the smell of grandma's cooking, of my mom's Chanel perfumes. These create pleasant memories. It makes us feel good. That's really what fragrances are all about, to make us feel a certain way. We are drawn more to things that give us pleasure, and we are repelled by things that kind of make us feel pain. And this goes back to body odor. Our skin is constantly shedding, and bacteria is eating away at these dead skin, at the dead skin that comes off of us. And when they eat, they shit, and the shit smells really bad. Bacterial shit is really what body odor is. Awful thing. And going back to history, cultures around the world, it's not like they liked foul odor. They didn't. Um, Humans want to dissociate themselves from animals as much as possible. Animals have that foul smell. We are humans. We are sophisticated. We're civilized. We do not have that. We don't want that. The history of perfumery goes back thousands and thousands of years. In ancient Egypt, they knew all about harnessing oils and burning resins, and just creating an environment that smells pleasant, because they didn't want to smell like animals. They didn't want to smell like rotting whatever it was. So this perfumery is one of those things that is much older than you can think about. And one of the reasons why we love it so much, things that smell good, we're really drawn to. Think about cookies. Um, you really remember those feelings and those sensations that come along with it. Um, but we thought, some cultures across the world had better hygiene, had better ability to cover it, or at the very least to prevent it. In Europe and early America, it smelled awful. It smelled very bad. Hygiene was just not very good. The flowers that you see in funerals right now. Flowers right now are it's more of a passed down custom. But initially, it was to cover up the smell of rotting corpse. The same thing with the flowers that you see in a wedding. You know, the people smelled bad. So the flower, the bouquet that you see in the bride and where she holds it down, it's not really for aesthetic purposes. It's to cover the smell. It's to be more pleasant for the bride, for the groom, and for everyone else. Over time, we live in a very good time. We have access to these things that only the really wealthiest uh, had access to. But just imagine what it was like at a time where hygiene, they did not have, the dental hygiene was awful. Body hygiene, it was only, the ability to bathe often was only accessible to really the wealthiest. Access to expensive oils was only available to the wealthiest. We live in a great time right now. Something to remind yourself that we should not take advantage of it. Don't take advantage. Be appreciative of the fact that you have a working nose and you can smell things, but also be right now. We have access to so many wonderful, so much perfumery. Um, I'm just very grateful to be a part of it. Um, so that's going back to why scents and fragrances are so important and why we smell the way we smell and how kind of start to unravel that idea. It is an essential, because closest to the hippocampus is scent. Then of course auditory. You have to be able to hear danger when it comes up, but the scent, be able to know when danger is coming. Gasoline, body odor, anything foul, we know to stay away from and go towards the thing that smell good. Um, so I hope this at least gave you some insight into one, the overview of the channel. I'm just not just going to be talking about fragrances, but just kind of ideas. And I guess it's a good way to get this out of the way earlier, so that if you are going to be subscribing to this channel, which I hope you do, that you'll understand that it's not just about fragrances, but it's also going to be talking about ideas and things that people often don't think about. If you have a topic that you think would be worthy for us to kind of unravel, leave them in the comments. Please subscribe. Let me know that, or just you subscribe so that you're aware of when I put up new videos. You'll know to check them out. Leave a comment. Just share your feedback. I'm welcome to counter questions. Maybe you disagree. The purpose of this is to share knowledge, to share what we know with the rest of the community. Once again, so thank you. If you've been here, thank you right now for listening. I hope to make more of these type of videos in addition to fragrance related videos. I hope you'll join me in that, and I hope it grows. I really hope this channel picks up and people want to listen and be a part of it and gain something from it. Really, I want to just give back something to the community so that we can all grow together. So thank you.